This is the CTS LifeTrack instructional video series. In this video, we will discuss and demonstrate running reports in LifeTrack. A report in LifeTrack is used as a way to pull information from the database. The data that can be pulled from reports are extremely varied and can range from a list of pending tests to a detailed testing detail of one sample to a list of all initially reactive samples for a given test. Each unique report shows different data, but all reports in LifeTrack are run the same way. To find a list of reports, navigate from the menu to the Test Rep screen. From there, you can make a selection for reports that are either sorted by collection date or by receive date. In general, the same reports can be run for either collection or receive date. You then find the report you want to pull and select it. Here are some examples of reports that can be pulled. Note that all reports have their own keyword. Once you know the keyword, you can navigate to that report directly. For more information on navigation, please see the Navigation and Sample Input instructional video. For the purposes of this recording, we will select a Units to be Tested report. Once in the report screen, the default field is Report ID. This is where you name the individual report you want to pull. The name can be pretty much anything you want, although it's helpful to name it something that will make it easy to identify later. We're going to name it Units to be Tested 120918-2. Once you name the report and press enter, a list of parameters is displayed. All report screens function this exact same way. However, for each report, the parameters will be different. To actually navigate through the parameter menu, you type in the parameter, and if you only have one entry to make for that parameter, you press the down arrow key to move to the next parameter. In some cases, you'll need to put multiple entries into one parameter, such as for test IDs. In that case, you'll press enter to go to the next line in the same parameter instead of pressing the down arrow key. Once you've entered then your second line, you press the down arrow key to move on to the next parameter. There are a couple of function keys that are very helpful here. For instance, F2 will allow you again to select from a list of values for some parameters. And if you need to delete a parameter entry or you mistakenly press enter instead of the down arrow, you can press Alt F5 to delete that parameter entry. And of course, you can also enter all if you want to select every option that's available. When you finish entering all the parameters, you're going to press page down to submit the report. So let's go through and enter the parameters for this report. So for chapter ID, I'm going to select Tampa. Now I press the down arrow key to move to contract ID. Now here I could press F2 to pull up a list of all the contracts, or I can type in all to select every contract. For receive date, I'm going to start at 12/2, and we're going to end at 12/3. For test group, I'm going to select all, and for the test ID, you could select all, but I'm going to select CMV, and I'm going to move to the next line and select ABORH. Now if I've decided that I don't want to see ABORH, or I accidentally move to the next line, I can press Alt F5 and delete those entries. Now, if I try and hit the down arrow key again, it doesn't go anywhere because this is the last parameter. So now I'm going to hit page down. Once you do that, you come to the Submit Report box. You hit Yes here. Then you have a decision whether you want to print the report header and trailer. This will actually print the information such as the parameter you just selected at the beginning of the report. You can choose to print that or not. And then there's the After Time block. This will allow you to set a report to print in the future. And you can see there's a very specific format that you have to use to be able to put something into this block. Once you're done with that, you press enter, and then press enter on the Submit Report button. You'll note here that it says Report Submitted. To actually view the report, we must exit out of the report screen and go to the print screen by typing Print in the menu. From the print screen, we see a list of all the reports we have recently run, including the one we just ran. Look at the prompt at the bottom of the screen. It tells us to review and print the report, type in R, or to delete the report, type in D. So to view this report, we're going to type in R, and then we'll submit with F1. So this is an example of the units to be tested by receive date report. So you can see here it lists all the units that met the parameters we selected and all the tests that were pending out of the groups that we selected. So in this case, all of these samples are still pending ABORH testing. To delete a report, you type D, press F1, and it will delete it. Note that reports that are not deleted manually will still be cleared after several days. Now let's check some examples of reports. We already looked at the units to be tested report. Again, this report is extremely useful for the reconciliation process because it tells you what tests are still pending. The next one is a test result details report. So this allows you to search for specific unit numbers and find the details of a test and print them onto one convenient report. Next, we'll take a look at what a report looks like that doesn't find any information. So you see here, this one says total units reported 0 and doesn't contain any other information because for whatever reason it didn't find anything in the query in the report that you selected. Finally, some reports take some time to generate. So if you come to the print screen immediately, you might see a status of submitted or executing. In that case, you'll have to wait until the report is finished running in order to display it. You can refresh this screen to update the status by pressing the Execute Query button, which is alternate F12. This concludes the video on printing reports.